Okay, now from the video you've probably seen how these triangles can show how numbers work together, and they work for both addition and they work for both subtraction. Okay, now we've been looking at inverse and how addition and subtraction work together and how multiplication and division work together. And from the triangles, hopefully you can see how those number families, I mean, we've looked at those 4 operations that you can get from one equation, okay, and how they all work together. Now I'm going to show you a nice creative way of making these little, I call them sort of number stars or number triangles, okay, because they're a much more creative way, a much more fun way than rather than just having like a list of equations up on your wall to kind of look at. They're a much more fun way of doing that and showing that, okay. So here's one I did earlier, okay, you might be able to see. Okay, I've got in my top, I've got 96, and then I've got 34 in this side, and I've got 62 down here. Okay, and it's made from just a triangular bit of paper. Okay, so it's got in there. In the middle, I've put my 3 operations. Okay, 2 are the same, and 1 is different. So I've got subtraction here, I've got subtraction here, and I've got add here at the bottom, because these 2 add together to make this one, and then we subtract these ones from this one to get what's left over. Now, if I fold that up, okay, I've also got my operation here as well. Okay, see if I can get it in there. Okay, so I can think of it as 96 take away 62 equals, now I can work that out if I'm trying to find it out. Okay, but you've got your other part here. Or if I were to have these 2 parts, okay, in my equation, 34 plus 62, and I'm trying to work out the whole always goes at the top. Okay, I can think of it as 34 plus 62 equals what we've got at the top. Okay, and it's another way of just thinking and working out those missing number problems. Okay, because we've got our 2 parts and we've got our whole at the top. Okay, they're also really, really good for working out multiplication problems and working out new tables. Okay, so if any of you are working on your 3s or your 4s, or some people have said about their 8s or their 11s and things like that, they're a great way of showing that. So how do you make them? Well, take a triangular bit of paper. Okay, ideally it needs to be an equilateral triangle, because when you fold it, all the triangles are equal. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to fold my top point down to the bottom, a bit like origami this. Okay, nice and neatly, and fold that back up. And I'll fold this point, the table's a bit slippy, okay, up into that corner there, flatten that down, and fold it back out. And my last one, I'm going to fold up to the top here, flatten down, and open out. So I'm going to think, right, I want to learn, okay, my, let's say, my 11 times table. Okay, so I'm going to start with 1 times 11, okay, which is 11. I'm going to carry on, I'm going to put 2 times 11. So remember, your whole goes at the top, your parts go in the ones at the bottom. So 2 times 11, put 2 in there, and I'm going to put 11 here. 2 times 11, I'm sure lots of you can tell me, 2 times 11 is 22. Okay. Now, I need to get the right operation. If I'm thinking times, I need to put my times at the bottom there, because these are the parts which times together to make our whole. So then our divides go here. Okay, so we end up with our operations in the middle: divide, divide, and times at the bottom there. Now, I had it before so I could see it when it was folded. So when I fold in each time, I'm going to get a little bit closer here if I can. If I fold this side in, I need to think, oh, what's my operation here? It's divide, because then I can think 22 divided by 2 is 11. If I fold this side in, to remind myself, oh, it's divide. So then here, I've got 22 divided by 11, okay, is 2. And then this top one, I'm going to put times, oh, my pen's running out, I think. So then I've got 2 times by 11 equals 22. Now on the back, and what I did on this one, was I put, see if I can show you that, my 4 operations. Those 4 operations we've looked at, those 2 addition there and 2 subtraction, and on this one I'm going to do my 2 multiplication and my 2 division. So I know that 2 times 11 equals 22, and that means 11 times 2 equals 22. Remember, our whole comes at the end when we're multiplying, and when we're dividing, our whole comes at the start. 22 divided by 2 equals 11, and 22 divided by 11 equals 2. And obviously we can check that with our numbers on this side. So we've got our 4 operations, we've got our different operation ones we've got here. So like I say, if you're learning that new table, you can think, right, 2 times that, ooh, what's it going to be, what's the whole? It's there, okay? And it's a bit more fun, and you can just stick those on your wall, line them up, okay? And then you've got them there for your times table, and it's a bit more fun than just having a list of a times table next to it, okay? And it's a nice practical way of doing it. But remember, like I say, start with an equilateral bit of triangular paper, or as equal as you can make it, okay? And then you fold those corners in and pop your numbers on it. You might shade it in yellow to make it a bit more colourful, or you might shade each one in a different colour, but make sure you can still see the numbers and the operations, and don't forget to put your operations on the back of the ones that you fold down. Okay. And we'll see, take some pictures of your different multiplication triangles that you do for me. I'd love to see them. Okay. Have fun.